Google I/O 2026 is about to change everything. May 19th to 20th. New Gemini 4 with longer context windows than any public model. VEO 4 generating 30-second videos with storyboarding. AI glasses you can actually buy. Android for desktop. And autonomous agents going global. This is not just another product update. This is Google's answer to OpenAI, Anthropic, and xAI. Here is everything we know. The Gemini 4 flagship. Demis Hassabis, CEO of Google DeepMind, already confirmed Gemini 4 is in development. But what makes it different from Gemini 3? The leaked specifications are staggering. A 2 million token context window, enough to process entire codebases, books, or datasets in one pass. For comparison, GPT-4 standard context is around 32,000 tokens. We are talking about a 60-fold increase. Persistent long-term memory that remembers user preferences across sessions. Ultra-low latency under 300 milliseconds. And full integration with Project Astra for real-time multimodal understanding. These are not incremental improvements. This is a fundamental architecture shift. DeepThink, the research version of Gemini, already showed what is coming. It scored 84.6% on ARCAGI2. That is not just an improvement, it is a qualitative leap in abstract thinking capability. On Codeforces, DeepThink scored 3,455 ELO. That is top 0.2% of programmers worldwide. The model solves problems that stump senior developers, and the infrastructure backing this is massive. The Ironwood TPU, scaled to a full pod of 9,216 chips, delivers 42.5 exaflops of computing power. Google plans to buy $9.8 billion worth of TPU from Broadcom in 2025 alone, up from $6.2 billion in 2024. That spending trajectory screams preparation for something massive. If the annual pattern holds, Gemini 4 could preview at Google I/O 2026 with wider rollout through late 2026 or early 2027. Google could show Gemini 4 on stage without fully releasing it, and that alone would dominate every headline for weeks. The VEO 4 video revolution. Here is what is going to make content creators nervous. VEO 4. The current VEO 3.1 generates 8 seconds of video. VEO 3.1 Lite released April 2nd made this accessible to everyone, but VEO 4 represents another level entirely. Video generation from 10 to 30 seconds. Storyboarding features. 4K resolution. According to Wikipedia, VEO 4 released in April 2026 can also storyboard 10 to 30 second video generation. And that is not the only video revolution. Lyria 3 Pro, Google top music model, now generates 3-minute songs. That is 6 times longer than the previous version. Full tracks with vocals, instruments, and song structure. Since Google only gave a minor update back in October with VEO 3.1, everyone is expecting a full-scale upgrade and the release of VEO 4 live on stage at Google I/O 2026. VEO 4 will offer better resolution, stronger motion flow, longer video runtimes, and smarter scene coherence than VEO 3. But most importantly, if resolution is the body, consistency is the soul. This is the most anticipated feature of VEO 4. Storyboarding and built-in editing have been long overdue in video AI. Hopefully, VEO 4 is finally the update that delivers. Right now, VEO 3 struggles with temporal consistency. Characters drift between shots. Objects disappear. Lighting shifts randomly. Reddit users have discussed this extensively. One comment: a whole 60-minute AI-generated film using 8-second clips is technically possible with enough editing, but it requires significant time and budget. VEO 4 needs to solve this. Character consistency across multiple generations is essential. No face upload means every generation is a roll of the dice. Prompt adherence is inconsistent. You ask for a specific camera angle and VEO 3 might ignore it. Rendering time is slow, several minutes per clip. If you are iterating on a project, that wait adds up fast. AI glasses launching. Forget Vision Pro for $3,500. Google is preparing something completely different. Samsung A wine glasses at just 50 grams, models SMO200P and SMO200J are already in production. Google dropped $75 million into Warby Parker and picked up 4% of Gentle Monster. These are not just investments. This is groundwork for mass production. Two types of glasses. First, no screen, pure AI assistant. Second, with transparent display for AR. And the main thing, iOS compatibility confirmed. Apple users will also get access. While everyone is focused on Gemini 4, Google is quietly revolutionizing how we interact with AI through wearables. Search Live and Personal Intelligence. Search Live with real-time camera integration is already in more than 200 countries. Point your phone at anything, ask a question, get an answer. But that is just the beginning. Personal intelligence is where things get transformative. Right now it is limited to paid users, but the I/O announcement will blow it wide open. Imagine search that knows your Gmail, your photos, your Drive documents, your calendar. All opt-in, all private, but incredibly powerful. Find that Italian restaurant John recommended in his email last month. Done. Show me all photos from conferences where I met potential clients. Instant results. What was that deadline my boss mentioned in yesterday's meeting? Pulled from your automatically transcribed meeting recording. The free tier rollout means 2 billion Google users suddenly get an AI that actually knows them. Not in a creepy way, in a finally technology that works how my brain works way. 2 billion people about to get AI that actually understands their context. Search that reads your emails, your calendar, your photos. Android 17 and Aluminum OS. Android 17 beta released early. Full announcement at I/O, but main features are already known. Gemini Agent for Ultra subscribers at $24.99. This is not just an assistant, it is a full AI that manages your phone. Shopping, bookings, planning, all automatic. Universal Commerce Protocol with Shopify, Target, Visa. One command and the agent finds the product, compares prices, applies coupons, and buys. You do not even take out your card. But the main bomb, Aluminum OS Android for desktop PC. Direct competitor to Windows and Mac OS. Samir Samat confirmed debut in 2026. Imagine Chrome OS but with full Android and deep Gemini integration. All Android apps run natively. AI built in at the system level. This is Google Play to own the desktop computing space they have never captured before. Gemini Agent going global. Gemini Agent based on Project Mariner is currently US only for Ultra subscribers at $24.99 per month, but leaks suggest that is about to change dramatically. This is not your typical AI assistant. Gemini Agent actually controls your browser, books flights, manages your entire email workflow, makes purchases with your saved payment methods. It is like having a hyper-competent personal assistant who never sleeps. Expansion rumors point to UK, Canada, and Australia first, the usual English-speaking markets. But internal documents mention support for 15 languages by end of year. That is not incremental rollout, that is global domination. What makes this massive is the infrastructure play. Each country needs local payment integrations, regional service connections, compliance frameworks. The fact that Google is ready to announce this means they have been quietly building for months. Robotics and scientific breakthroughs. Boston Dynamics Atlas now runs on Gemini. Partnership confirmed. Hyundai plans to produce 30,000 robots per year, with first units going to Google DeepMind and Hyundai-owned facilities. But that is small compared to the algorithmic advances. AlphaEvolve, a new model for optimizing algorithms, saved Google 0.7% of computing resources. Sounds small? That is $1.3 billion per year. AlphaGenome is used by 3,000 scientists from 160 countries. AI predicts gene regulation, helps create medicines, solves problems humanity has struggled with for decades. The Apple partnership. Now for what no one expected. Apple and Google, sworn enemies in the mobile war, are joining forces. WWDC 2026 will be June 8th, 3 weeks after Google I/O. And leaks say Gemini is coming to iPhone. Imagine Siri but with Gemini 4 brains. It will definitely be better than now. Is this the end of the ecosystem war or a temporary alliance against OpenAI? Either way, 1.5 billion iPhone users will get access to Google AI. That is a distribution advantage neither company could achieve alone. The competitive pressure. Here is the competitive picture that has Google executives losing sleep. Anthropic just dropped Claude Mythos preview. They are calling it too powerful for public release. This thing has already found thousands of zero-day vulnerabilities in every major operating system and web browser. But Anthropic is not Google-only problem. Grok just hit 17.8% US market share, up from 1.9% a year ago. Elon Musk merged xAI and SpaceX, creating a $1.25 trillion company that is going public this year. When you have rockets and AI under one roof, innovation accelerates differently. And then there is Chinese DeepSeek V4 expected in 2026 on Huawei chips, not NVIDIA. It is the first frontier AI model that does not need NVIDIA hardware. If V4 performs well on cheaper Huawei chips, the entire economics of AI changes overnight. This is why Google has no choice but to go all in at I/O. GPT-6 finished training March 24th. OpenAI, I could drop it any day. The AI arms race is not coming. It is here. The timing question. Google I/O 2026, May 19th to 20th. While OpenAI is silent about GPT-6, Google would position VEO4 as a major press moment to counter OpenAI competitive advances. If GPT-6 releases before I/O, Google will be playing catch-up. But Google has aces up their sleeve, $185 billion in investments, 750 million active users, integration with Android, Chrome, YouTube, and most importantly, real products, not promises. Polymarket gives only 14.5% chance of Gemini-4 releasing before June, but insiders say the model is ready. They are waiting for the right moment to announce. Google recently finished its new Ironwood TPU, 7th generation AI chip. These chips are 10 times more powerful than the old ones, specifically built to handle massive math needed for high-quality video. Let's be real about what is actually happening at I/O versus wishful thinking. Tier 1? Basically guaranteed. Android 17, Gemini-4 preview, Gemini Nano 4 full launch. Tier 2? Highly likely, AI glasses, VEO4, Gemini agent expansion. Tier 3? Plausible but unconfirmed, Aluminum OS developer preview. Apple partnership, Boston Dynamics Robotics demos. If you are expecting Google to drop everything with immediate public access and aggressive pricing, you are dreaming. They will announce 10 things and launch 3. The rest will be coming soon, or limited preview, or we are excited to share more later this year. And pricing. Do not get your hopes up. Gemini 4 will not undercut GPT-5. Those AI glasses will not be cheaper than Ray-Ban Meta. This is Google. They price for margin, not virality. But honestly, even if we only get half of what is rumored, this is still going to be the biggest AI event of the year. Google I/O 2026 changes the AI game rules. These are not just updates. This is a new era where AI becomes an invisible helper in everything. When Sundar Pichai walks on that stage, the AI world is going to shift.